Deep in the Florida Everglades, something unprecedented just happened. A detention center so isolated, so secure that escape means death by alligator or python. They're calling it Alligator Alcatraz, and tomorrow President Trump cuts the ribbon on America's most controversial immigration solution. 5,000 beds, one road in, one way out on a deportation flight. MS-13 killers, Tren de Aragua thugs, murderers, and rapists who terrorize our communities are about to meet their worst nightmare. Natural barriers, military security, on-site deportation runway. Governor DeSantis calls it a force multiplier. Liberals call it inhumane. I call it justice. What you're about to see will restore your faith in American strength, so don't blink. Just like Trump is building walls to protect America, you need walls protecting your retirement. BioTrust Collagen builds those walls from within. By 40, your collagen drops dramatically. Skin sags, joints ache, recovery slows. You look older while criminals look younger crossing our border. Ageless multi-collagen changes everything. 5 collagen types from 4 premium sources, hydrolyzed for maximum absorption, no clumping, no taste, just results. I just had some in my smoothie today. While illegals age our system, you reverse aging naturally. Visit healthwithgary.com for 51% off, free shipping, and a bonus skin guide. Plus, every order feeds hungry American children. That's healthwithgary.com. Build your body's border wall today. Now, tomorrow marks a turning point in American immigration enforcement. President Trump will personally inspect a facility so revolutionary, so perfectly designed, that liberals are losing their minds. And today, at the White House, Karoline Leavitt delivered the details that have criminal aliens trembling. You may have saw our stream of the White House press briefing. Well, here is a clip. This is Detention. Redefined. Watch.
Tomorrow, President Trump will travel to the great state of Florida to attend the opening of a new illegal alien detention center located at Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport alongside Secretary Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Congressman Byron Donalds, and other state and local leaders. We hope to see many of you there. The facility is in the heart of the Everglades and will be informally known as Alligator Alcatraz. There is only one road leading in, and the only way out is a one-way flight. It is isolated and surrounded by dangerous wildlife and unforgiving terrain. The facility will have up to 5,000 beds to house, process, and deport criminal illegal aliens. This is an efficient and low-cost way to help carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history.
She looked good in that blue today, didn't she? Yeah, what a way to deliver the message. The bad news for the illegals. Oh, yeah. One road in, surrounded by nature's deadliest predators. The only exit? A one-way flight back to wherever you came from. And this is exactly what I voted for. Governor Ron DeSantis gave Trump a personal tour preview, and his description of the facility's capabilities will make every law-abiding American cheer. Watch him now explain why geography is destiny for these criminals. Watch.
That's out there kind of in the middle of the Everglade area. And it's not defunct. People say there are training flights that go in there, but it's a massive runway. And, you know, there's not a lot of buildings out there, but there's a lot of concrete. And so these guys set up this whole thing within a matter of days. And so when the president comes tomorrow, he's going to be able to see, you know, you're going to be able to do what'll happen is you bring people in there. They ain't going anywhere once they're there unless you want them to go somewhere, because good luck getting the civilization. So the security is amazing. But what natural and otherwise. But what it can be, I think, is an effective way to increase the number of removals and deportations, which ultimately, if you don't do that, you're going to continue to have this problem of illegal immigration. So you'll be able to bring people in, they'll get processed. If they have an order of removal, then they can be queued, and the federal government can fly right on the runway, right there. You literally drive them 2,000 feet, put them on a plane, and then they're gone. It's very logistically simple.
Love it. I love it. They aren't going anywhere. Music to patriot ears. Good luck swimming through gator-infested swamps to reach civilization. Natural security at its finest. But DeSantis didn't stop at geography. His next revelation about deputizing National Guard as immigration judges is genius-level governance. This changes everything about deportation speed. Watch.
But what we're also going to do is, this idea of immigration judge, these are not Article 3 judges. They're not federal judges like we think of. These are executive branch employees who are called immigration judges. So you can you can deputize different employees to do that. So we've offered some of our National Guardsmen to be able to serve as immigration judges. So what you could have is, okay, someone's a criminal alien, they obviously fast track. Someone has an order of deportation, okay, fast track. Someone may have just gotten picked up. They come, they can get like a notice to appear. Biden would tell you to come in 2 years. I mean, under the Trump administration, it's usually within, 14 to 30 days. But we can have our National Guard acting as immigration judges right on site. So you go, maybe you have a day or two, whatever, and then a decision's made. And then that's it. So this is potentially be a force multiplier as this goes. And so, I did speak with the president this weekend. He's very excited about doing it. But I think what he wants to see is, Florida should not be the only one in this fight, right? I mean, we literally are doing what the voters who elected all of us have been demanding for many, many years. And immigration was maybe the number one issue, maybe inflation, but certainly no worse than the second most important issue in the 2024 presidential.
No more 2-year delays. No more catch and release. Processed and deported within days. Florida just solved what Washington couldn't in decades. And of course, environmental leftists immediately sued to stop it. Their pathetic protest attempts ran into Florida's law and order reality. What happened next is pure karma. Watch.
2 environmental groups are suing to stop Florida from opening that massive ICE detention center in the Everglades known as Alligator Alcatraz. The groups say the plans did not go to follow federal environmental review laws. The state's governor says he plans on processing people there as soon as next week.
Environmental review for a detention center? These same people said nothing when Biden housed illegals in luxury hotels. This is hypocrisy exposed. Now, the construction speed is military-grade efficiency. In just 24 hours, they erected a fully functional detention complex. What you're about to see shows American determination in action. Watch.
No problem, but all the stuff that goes into intake and processing of illegals, you're seeing this put up. This is all 24 hours. 24 hours from now, you're going to see even more. And by Tuesday, this will be able to have intake of illegals.
And you've thought of everything. Okay, so there are 4 gigantic tents. Let's come on over here, Governor. And people are thinking, okay, you're in the middle of the Everglades. It's hot. That would explain why you've got this bank of air conditioners here.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be, illegals will come in, they'll be processed, there'll be places for them to be housed, you'll have an ability for food, you'll have an ability for them to consult legal rights if they have that, because there is a process that's involved with this. So this is really everything. This is going to be a self-contained little area. And then, of course, you also have stuff for the staff that work here. So we've got laundry facilities, we've got showers, we've got, obviously, there you see the shower and bath facilities.
Yep, right there.
Yep.
Where do you go to get a bunch of bathrooms like that?
Well, so this is being done by the Division of Emergency Management.
Air conditioning, food service, legal consultation areas, shower facilities. More humane than tent cities illegals created in their own communities. But liberals complain about criminal comfort. The strategic brilliance comes clear when you see the proximity to the deportation runway. DeSantis explains why this design terrifies open border advocates. Watch.
Well, you know, when you think of the imagery of Alcatraz, Alcatraz is surrounded by a bay. Here in the Everglades, you're actually surrounded by gators and pythons.
So this is as secure as it gets. I mean, if a criminal alien were to escape from here somehow, and I don't think they will, you've got nowhere to go. I mean, what are you going to do? Trudge through the swamp and dodge alligators on the way back to 50, 60 miles just to get to civilization? Not going to happen. So not only that is it secure, it also takes this deportation mission out of the hair of our local and state law enforcement. This has no impact on Florida residents because some of that stuff can have an impact on them if it's in more populated areas. And so logistically, this really answers the call. All you need is a little bus to move them, about 2,000 feet that way, then get on a plane and they're gone.
2,000 feet from cell to plane. No transfers, no escapes, and no delays. Logistical perfection that answers decades of excuses. Liberal protesters showed up but couldn't even block the road because in Florida, law and order actually means something. Watch them whimper behind the legal line. Take a look.
We have to advocate for all of us. And I don't know if any of you have prayed to a spiritual place, or maybe you go to church to find that spiritual place, or wherever your spiritual place is. Find it in your hearts to pray for these people who are lost so that they can become human beings again. Because if they're human beings again, this will stop.
Human beings again. Well, maybe if they just followed the law, none of this would be happening, right? I mean, praying for criminals who assault Americans? These people are spiritually lost. Meanwhile, construction continues. Nothing stops the Trump train. The funding source makes it even sweeter. The same money that Biden used to house illegals in five-star hotels now builds their deportation center. It's poetic justice delivered by creative accounting. Watch.
We've got a massive runway right behind us where any of the federal assets that they want to fly these people back to their own country, they can do it one-stop shop.
One-stop shop, you got it all. You got the detention facility, you've got the airport. Can the federal government make good use of this?
We sure can. Talk about efficiency right then and there. But also I want to talk about the funding for this. Some of it will be paid by the state of Florida, but a lot of it will be paid by the federal government. We're actually looking at FEMA to fund this through the Shelter and Services Program, which we saw in the Biden administration. That funding was bastardized to use for places like the Roosevelt Hotel, which is the place that housed Trende Aragua, was really the base of operations there, as well as Lake and Riley's killer. So we're going to take that funding and actually house these illegal aliens before we get them out the door and out of our country.
All right.
From the Roosevelt Hotels, luxury suites to Alligator Alcatraz, from champagne to swamp water, that's the Trump difference. Who gets detained first? Well, the worst of the worst. MS-13, Trende Aragua, murderers, rapists, violent criminals who terrorized American communities for far too long. Watch.
Tomorrow, President Trump is expected to be at the opening of Florida's Alligator Alcatraz. The detention center is going to get its first detainees as early as tomorrow. What can you tell us about the people who will be detained? Are they all violent criminals?
At the start, they likely will be individuals who are picked up under 287G. These are not going to be high-threat facilities just yet, but they will have the capacity to hold the worst of the worst. MS-13 gang members, Trende Aragua, murderers, rapists, but it will be a 5,000-bed facility. Varney, that is essential to our operational efforts because we do need places to hold these individuals, these bed spaces, before we remove them from the country.
So it's not all violent criminals that go there?
Not likely, but we do need proper facilities, especially as we're ramping up and really turbocharging those arrests, Barney. And so Secretary Noem and the Florida leadership there have done a phenomenal job about rapid speed developing this location to get as many as 5,000 beds. And we do think that this could be a blueprint for across the country.
5,000 beds ready for the scum of the earth. And this is just the blueprint. Imagine these facilities nationwide. The invasion ends now. If you got value from this report, tab subscribe. It's time for my final thought. Alligator Alcatraz isn't just a detention center, it's a declaration of war on the invasion. For decades, politicians promised border security while building nothing. Trump delivers a fortress in the swamp in mere days. Tomorrow's ribbon cutting sends a message to every criminal alien. Your free ride through America is over. Natural barriers, military efficiency, instant deportation. This is what sovereignty looks like. While liberals cry about criminal comfort, American families are finally seeing justice. Every gang member detained, every murderer deported, every rapist removed makes our communities safer. DeSantis and Trump just created the blueprint for nationwide enforcement. Yeah, they're going to need a lot of alligators, though. Imagine 50 of these facilities. Imagine criminals actually fearing consequences. Imagine an America where citizens come first again. So here's my question for you. Should every border state be required to build their own Alligator Alcatraz? Drop a yes or no in the comments below. And gear up with our Alligator Alcatraz shirt. We just dropped it at the shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Link below. You got to see it. You're going to love it. Wear it with some pride and show the world you stand with law enforcement.